Thank you.
It's wonderful, isn't it? It's
Sweet, yes. I was standing in pitch black behind there. I had no idea what I was going to come out to. That was extraordinary. Thank you.
So if ever you've wanted to be in a boy band,
Yes, exactly. There's a bit like this.
if you kind of missed that when you're a little younger.
I could take to this.
Hey, welcome. It's great to have you here. We have had such an extraordinary response to Game of Thrones, and I don't know if it's a particular. I think that the people in Germany really get the show and really understand the show and have become hugely involved in the show. And before we get on to talk about it, just reminding you, and if you haven't been here before, we have the microphones in all the various areas. There, one will be close by you, one over on my recht, one in my mitte, one on my links, and one up with my fabulous friends, two up with my fabulous friends in the gallery. So if you're having a question, oh, you're there already. Wow. Wow, okay.
Yes. Hi. I have a question, and it's, what do you prefer, playing in front of a camera or in the theater, and why?
I really love being able to do both, and I would feel very bereft if anyone said you're stuck now in that medium and you can't do the other. So. And I'm very fickle, so I was doing I was playing Uncle Vanya recently in London, which was a very happy production. And while I was inside it, I kept thinking, ooh, I want to be in front of a camera. And the reverse happens. Whenever I'm in front of the camera, I kind of think, I'd love to be back on stage. Not wanting to be where I am, but just... it requires different things of you as an actor, both camera work and stage work. And I guess stage work is more demanding, really. It's more complete and fulfilling. It's kind of why I went into acting in the first place. I was born in Scotland, and I went down to study at RADA in London, and when I left, my presumption was that that's what I was going to do, was just do stage work. I was thrilled and excited when I had a chance to go in front of the camera for the first time, and I got very addicted to it very quickly. But camera requires you to be sort of on the button in these very short, intense, pressurized. It feels exciting and sexy and important in these little, bits, and in between you wait. And it's quite boring, and time is spent for the lighting cameraman primarily. Certainly, particularly in things like Game of Thrones, it's such huge production value, and sometimes you're in front of a green screen or a blue screen, so there's so many different elements to it. And on stage, when the curtain goes up, you're the only animate object, and you're on your own, and you have to project and create for an audience. And it's from your toes to the top of your head, and you're the only thing that's moving that they're watching. So I think it's sort of vocally, physically, the writing is often better on stage. We garner years and years of great theatre that only lives and keeps being done because the writing is great, and we can, we're very lucky, particularly in the UK, to have the likes of Shakespeare. And so the demands that that kind of theatre work makes on you as an actor is very, very good, refreshing, and kind of important to keep going back to, because film work is often a little bit bitty. So that's a rather long answer, but I enjoy both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Babe?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
What kind of scenes are the most challenging for you to play?
A little bit closer. What scenes are the most challenging?
I love thinking noises.
Yeah.
Everybody...
I think so far, to be honest, the most challenging sheet has been the fighting scenes. Because it's always a bit of a, it's a bit of a rush to do to get the fights organized. They have, in Game of Thrones, there are two main units that work in tandem at the same time, which is fairly unusual. So it's the equivalent of one unit filming for 8 months. Both units tend to work at the same time. There's little bits when they don't. So the crew are incredibly busy. The actors flip from one unit to the other, and no one is required all the time. So to find proper rehearsal time for a fight of any significance is hard. And I don't like going in front of a camera blind. I don't like going in front of a camera if I only sort of know my lines. I'm very thorough. And in fact, I get nervous and I'm quite crap as an actor if I've not had proper time to prepare. It doesn't matter if it's lines or sword work. So you have to kind of fight your corner a little bit to get the proper preparation for something. There's always things they think they can do with cuts and stuff where they can make it always look good. But it'd be lovely if you just stuck a camera in front of it, we did the fight here, that it would function, it work well. So I think because of the technicalities of the show and how difficult it is to prepare, something like a stage fight, which I've done a couple of, and I'm about to do another one in the 3rd series, are the scenes I find most challenging.
Hello.
Hello.
It's very magical, this.
Speaking of Downton Abbey, Downton Abbey also stars Dame Maggie Smith, who's been in the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
So I wondered if you could share a little bit from the set of Downton Abbey and particularly working with Dame Maggie Smith.
With Dame Maggie, right. How honest can I be? No.
Very honest.
No, listen, she's great. She's an amazing lady. She's quite scary. Which sort of she fits her role. So, and she doesn't suffer fools gladly. So, if she senses a little bit of, incompetence from the makeup department or a fussy runner, she will. And she has this very witty, incisive, and slightly cruel wit about her. So I've always been very bland and hello, Dame Maggie. Hello, Maggie. How are you this morning? And very pleasant, so she doesn't pick on me. And you've got to kind of look her in the eyes and be strong and look like you're not to be messed about with. And then she'll sort of leave you alone. So, but to be honest, Downton Abbey was it was a big, I'd worked with Game of Thrones, not so much so, but actors, many of whom Hugh Bonneville's one of my best friends, and Jim Carter. I know a lot of them, and so you get this kind of lovey actors on set. I was only ever upstairs because I was posh in that one, and we'd all sit around reading the Times and the Guardian and chatting about life and who was doing what in the theatre, and it was all very, very pleasant. It was a very fun job to be on. A really good bunch of, good proper actors. So, yeah. Hi, Danny.
Hello. You have also been in 2 of the Resident Evil movies, and I was wondering, are you familiar with the games? And if so, what do you think about the movies as an adaptation of those games?
The Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Not familiar with the games at all. Never seen them. I've no idea. But the films really good. I think they're great fun. I really enjoyed doing it. It was great. I suggested, I know you probably haven't seen Resident Evil, but I play this doctor who creates these awful monsters, and I become a. Thank you.
Yeah, I think a few of them have seen it.
Oh, I've seen it. But
Yeah.
I become a tyrant myself. So when I was very dead at the end of it, I suggested to the producer that, in fact, what I'd done was clone 10 of myself already and refrigerated myself. So even though on screen in Resident Evil 2 or 3 I was very dead, in fact I wasn't, I could come back endlessly because I enjoyed making the film so much. But anyway, they didn't buy the idea.
But they brought back several characters who were dead in the new movie, so
Yeah,
maybe in
exactly.
the next one.
Maybe I could get that call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Stay really calm because I get ridiculously excited about Game of Thrones.
Ah, good, good.
But my question is, what's your favourite part of like playing the character of Ser Jorah?
It's partly being in these lovely places and being, you know, in deserts or coast, and we're always filming the most lovely place. Amelia's a gorgeous girl, you know. I could look at her all day long and pretend to be in love with her, you know. So that makes life easier. I really enjoy the duality within Ser Jorah, and I think that in a world that is quite peopled by, you know, brutal, self-seeking, politic men, it's quite nice to have, you know, he's not alone, but he's a good soul. He's a noble heart, and when I read it, I thought it's nice to have contrast in the person you're playing to generally the world in which you're having to occupy. So, yeah.
Thanks.
Pleasure. It's IAIN GLEN. I play Ser Jorah Moment in Game of Thrones and watch Series 3 and 2 if you're in Germany, because I hear there's a delay because it just gets better. My first time to Bonn and first time to Incom. I did one other signing session in Olympia a few months ago, but I think it was a separate sort of thing.
How do you like it?
Good. It's rare. It's a treat to meet all the fans and feel people's genuine enthusiasm for the you know, your TV series. It's very easy to be separate from fans, the people who appreciate your work. So I actually really like it, and people are very kind. You know, they're very sweet-natured, and yeah, it's been good fun.